Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Rooster Teeth podcast. I'm Gus.
I'm Drew.
I'm Gavin.
And I'm Gus. Wow. Drew, you really were up on the ball in a hurry there.
He was so
Barbara,
ready.
It's because the first time I was on the podcast, Gavin did this exact thing to me, and I thought I had a whole Costanza thing in my head afterwards. It was like, next time I'll get him. I'll have a one-liner when I'm ready.
So not funny.
Huh?
Just doing the same shit over and over and over again.
Just repetitive.
That's comedy. You just got to repeat it.
I should have said I'm Gus. I don't know why I had a brain fart on that one. That would be the easiest thing to do.
You'll know for next time.
I just made noises.
That's what happens. So I want to talk about something right off the bat here. We obviously the holidays are coming up. Everyone's going to be off for a little bit. So next week's podcast, I'm telling you now, next week's podcast is going to be pre-taped, and we already taped that episode. So we've already done next week's episode, and we're doing this week's episode live. Oh. And I feel like it's breaking my brain a little bit. I've been trying to think about things to talk about that we're not going to talk about next week.
Well, that we didn't, because we already recorded it. So just, you don't remember what we already talked about?
It's no different to us. It's just different for them. Like, we don't have to, we've already talked about it. What do you mean? It's like,
right, but
for us,
in case it comes up naturally again, like I don't want to talk about Tenet, and when we can talk about Tenet on the podcast. We're going to have that conversation.
Right.
We're also going to talk about how it's weird that we're recording the next one before this one. We're talking about that on this one, but we also talked about it on that one.
We're going to explain the reasoning behind it next week. So tune in next week to find out why.
I feel like this episode should be dedicated to setting up callback jokes that are happening in the pre-recorded version next week. Like,
hey, if we remember what we talked about, it would be great.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what did we talk about?
I don't remember. And that was like a few days ago.
A couple days ago. Yeah. So find out with us next week.
What did we talk about?
You see, this is why I was worried about it earlier. I wanted to make a list of shit we talked about. That way we don't talk about it again.
We'll know it if it comes up.
Hopefully we will. But you didn't know that you just did the same joke on Drew again.
It's true.
Yeah,
but that was months. It was like pre-pandemic.
That was at least 3. Oh, really? That was a long time ago.
It was. Yeah, we were in person. It was like a year ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
Remember that?
Cool. Dude, it's the shortest day of all of the year.
Yes.
And it was like 21 degrees today in Celsius.
It was beautiful today. It was gorgeous. Had such a light day today, too. I feel like I've been relaxing most of the day, just trying to take it easy before the break. And then we had the pod. Yeah, that's what I do. I'm like Gus, where he would take time off before going on vacation. That's what Gus would do. Yeah.
Those are Bernie lies, by the way.
All right. Well, semantics. But I was like getting ready to do the podcast, and I'm like, I have been talking to no one all day. I've just been like lounging about, kind of taking it easy, and now we have to be on the podcast. And I was like, wow, I'm tired. I'm sleepy right now. I gotta like wake myself back up for this. So I
definitely showed up early so that I could do a long warm up just in Discord before we started. Just like I waited for everybody to come in, and then it was like trying to talk to Eric, and like just trying to get up, just like get my energy boosted, get ready to go.
Yep.
Yeah, it's weird. Normally I'm the first person here. It was weird. I joined and Drew was already here, like mid conversation with Eric. It's like, oh, that's strange.
Yeah, I gotta get prepared. An actor must prepare.
He needs to get into the zone, into character.
Yeah. Talking.
I guess what were you saying on the podcast before the podcast about how you were thinking about Saturn?
God. Okay, so I don't know what. Earlier today on Reddit, I saw like an animated GIF of. I think it was actually Jupiter that I saw that was spinning, and like in the clouds, someone said, "Look, it looks like there's a dolphin in the clouds." And yeah, there's like the clouds are kind of shaped like a dolphin or whatever. But it got me thinking. It's like something is happening on that planet right now, and I don't know what it is. It's like I guess normally I think of the planets as being these abstract ideas, right? They're just like out there somewhere, but in reality, there is something happening right now. Like I could. If I had the ability, I could go there and see what was happening on Jupiter, but we just can't go there and see it. It would kill us. So it's pretty much impossible for us right now. And it just kind of started freaking me out to think how there are other experiences happening that will never be recorded and that no one is witness to, but it doesn't mean that they didn't happen.
I mean, you could say the same for people living in the Amazon rainforest, though.
Right, but that's more tangible. We understand the rainforest. Like, I feel like start thinking about like Jupiter or Saturn or the other planets. Like, it's not a world that we're familiar with. You know, the things don't operate the same way. The sky's not blue. You know, the pressure's different. You know, pressure would kill you. On Jupiter, there's no surface. Right.
There's no such thing as Monday.
They have also, Jupiter's day.
Jupiter's also shockingly convenient in our solar system, right? Like it it attracts a bunch of asteroids that would otherwise hit Earth with its gravity. Right. So it's just like it's a weird little spot.
Yeah, but that's not. Is that convenient, or are we just the result of that? Like it's not like, wow, that's lucky. Otherwise, we'd be screwed. It's like life was able of that.
Right. Life was able to, happen on Earth because it was protected in that way. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think stuff that's like a genuine coincidence is the fact that every planet in the solar system can fit between the Earth and the Moon. That's freaking nuts.
Also, the fact that the Moon is almost exactly the same size as the Sun in the sky and perfectly round. Yeah. Don't buy that. Don't buy that for one fucking second. I hate the fucking Moon. I'm sorry.
Like a perfect eclipse.
Yeah.
True with the Moon again. You have this
the moon.
amazing obsession and hatred for the Moon that is just entertains me so much.
Allie bought me a telescope, which I'm going to leave here in a minute. I'm going to exit the podcast and go look at the Great Conjunction as soon as it gets dark enough. It won't be out.
Is that when you get pink eye?
Yeah, the Great Conjunctivitis. It's when everybody looks through your telescope and you wind up with pink eye. But I started looking at the moon. On it. I started looking at the moon because of my hatred for the fucking moon, and I only have more questions.
You hate the moon. So why do you hate the moon so much?
Because it doesn't make any sense, Gavin. Like when the moon's out during the day, is it the same phase as it is at night? Should be, right? Or is it not? Because then the sun is out, so it's reflecting on a different part of the moon, and then at night it's the same phase, and we just look at it. I don't know. I got to figure that out.
It's always the same sun hit. That's what the phase is, though.
No, but the sun's at a different spot in the sky during the day, so it would be a different relative to the moon. See, immediately I'm confused and annoyed, and that's why I hate the moon.
And it's because of the moon.
The moon still has night and day every day, but it's facing us at all times. Like it's not the sun's it's still spinning.
It doesn't, but the moon doesn't have night and day every day.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
What?
That's the phases, right? See, the moon only causes arguments. And now I have a telescope so I can yell at it in person. That's the whole reason I got the telescope.
Face to face.
Right.
You know who's yelling.
You're saying the dark side of the moon?
Great album.
Like it's not dark, it's just we can't see it. We're not arguing about the same thing anymore.
No, we're not.
A broken demo disc in chat is saying Drew is a lunatic.
I mean, that's fine. That tracks. Y'all know me.
Yeah, but that's like, on par.
So I looked it up. The Great Conjunction is when Jupiter and Saturn are close to each other in the sky?
Yeah, really close to each other in the sky.
Aren't they going to be like perfectly aligned at one point? Like from...
That should be tonight around 7:30, but I think there'll still be a little... It'll be like... As my mother said via text, it's like a star with a little hat on it.
Okay. And from what I read, it hasn't happened for 400 years, and it's not going to happen for another 800.
I think it's 800, I think it hasn't happened for 800 years.
No, I think it happened 400 years ago, but then it's going to happen again in 800.
Oh, okay.
Is what I read.
So I'm going to leave to go look at that.
Listen, I don't know about you guys, but I found myself deep on astrology TikTok, and every single fucking creator has been talking about December 21st, Great Conjunction. It's your day to manifest, guys. It's your day. It's like, start thinking about the future and like what you want and like everything. And it's just like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing today. There's so much pressure.
Are you into astrology, Barbara?
I'm not into it. I'm interested in it just because I find it fascinating. I've seen like a couple videos where things have been predicted, and I don't know, like I'm not like invested in it, but it just interests me. I'm like just at the cusp of like getting into it.
A lot of your like first run of merch had like astrology things in it, right?
Oh yeah,
stars, a lot of animals and stuff.
Yeah, I love.
What sign are you?
I'm a Cancer. If you couldn't tell, I cry at the drop of a hat. Yeah, I love reading about people's signs and stuff like that. And of course, there's the whole thing where people are like, oh, people read their the description of their signs or their horoscope or whatever, and they tend to agree with it because they're reading into it with that already bias opinion of like that it relates to them. So like people are like, oh, you could read any horoscope, and if you think it's yours, you'll think it relates to you in some capacity. But it's interesting to me.
Okay. I didn't know that. I'm learning about Barbara even after all these years. I feel like I learned a little nugget of information.
Quarantine has been going on for a long time. There's only so much that I've been able to get into or read about or whatever. This is just like, I don't know. I somehow got onto astrology TikTok and I'm like interested. It's very
here for it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. No judgment.
It's not hurting anybody. Fuck you in the chat.
Curious.
No, people are like, oh, Barb, don't be that white. It's like, fuck you. I want to learn. It's fascinating.
I think you should drag your mic outside while you look at the sky through your telescope.
I don't have the cable's not long enough, Gavin.
Oh.
I could potentially Eric. I don't know if the vMix will work on my phone.
You have the technology to look at another planet, but you can't drag your microphone 20 feet out the door.
Just yell really loud at it.
I've always wanted a telescope, but I feel like it's living in a city now. It's not going to be as worth it as
difficult. Yeah.
When I lived in a small town. Yeah.
Big camper. So we go camping, and then like the other night, I kept everybody was trying to make s'mores, and I kept being like, guys, I got another star in my telescope. Want to see it? And we'd have to get up and come over and look and be like, wow, good job, buddy. And then they go sit down and be like, I got another one. You know, look at this one. Repeated for like 2 hours until somebody was finally like, hey man, we're good.
Chances are I've seen this before somewhere. I feel like, could you get it so that you can hook up a camera to it and just have it on a screen in front of the telescope? So
you can just like take photos or whatever. Just go show it to folks.
I really want to look at stars, but I can't be bothered to stand up. Can you hook it up so I don't have to stand up and go over there?
Can you run a cable? It's just super long periscope.
The light from the star traveled all the way across the universe. And then you didn't want to look at it when it got here, so you wanted it to be put on a TV closer.
Traveled millions of light years just for you to be like, I'm good, thank you though.
No thanks.
I've seen stars before.
Brag.
Man, I got something happened to me the other day that hasn't happened in. I don't think it's ever happened actually.
So it's not a raccoon.
It's not. By the way, so you've distracted me. I was just walking my dogs in my backyard, and I found 2 pecans that squirrels buried. I texted a picture to Eric. But anyway, I wasn't going to talk about that. I was in a drive-thru, and I was waiting for food. And this drive-thru in particular is very poorly laid out. It's laid, and when the line gets long, it comes back and it blocks the exit. Like when you get your food, you have to leave. If the drive-thru line gets too long, it'll start blocking the exit path for the people who are getting their food. So I was in line, and I was up by the exit line. I had to stop. I had to leave a gap between me and the car in front of me. That way, when cars got their food, they could leave. So I was there, and I was waiting, and I had a big gap between me and the car in front of me so that the car getting its food could leave. There was a truck behind me that started honking at me. And I was like, well, I don't want to move up, because if I move up, then I'm going to block the space, and then everything's going to get fucked up. Nobody's going to be able to move. And then the truck pulled around me, and got into line. It cut me in line to get, in one spot closer, and blocked the exit for the people who were getting their food. So then he gets up there, blocks me. I'm like, well, I'm not going to get up and say anything because it's Texas. He might have a gun and shoot me because he's a fucking asshole. So I'm just sitting there, whatever. The car goes to leave with its food, and now it can't get out. So like, it's fucking gridlock. Like everyone's stuck now. So everyone in the line had to like try to inch closer together to like just clear enough room for the car to leave. And eventually, sure enough, like they clear enough room, the car's able to leave. I'm like, man, what a fucking asshole, this guy. So I didn't get to move, right? I'm still in my same spot. I'm still waiting. I'm still leaving space for the next car. And as I'm there, another car pulls in and tries to cut me off. I was like, what the hell is going on? So like I honk at him, and like I point at the line behind me, and he rolls down his window and he goes, can I cut in? I said, no, that guy already cut in. I said, there's 3 cars behind me. And he looks, he goes, how many cars are behind you? I said, there's 3 other people in line back here. He goes, oh, and then he leaves. Like, what the fuck is wrong with people?
How hungry
so
were you? Because that's the other problem. Is like everybody in that line's probably starving, and so everybody's pissy, just trying to get. Ugh.
I was pretty hungry. It was really annoying. I don't want to get down. Like I knew there was a long line at the drive-thru, but I don't want to go into the place.
Sure.
I was like I'm fucking stuck here in the drive-thru, trying to be a good person, leaving a gap so the line can keep going, and some fucking asshole comes and just cuts me off, ruins the whole thing. I will
say I've had wild success with the Whataburger app. They are speedy, and you don't have to do shit. You just order and then show up, and they run to your car and hand you your shit, and you're gone. It's the best.
That's really good.
It's been my favorite drive-thru experience of all time.
I feel like we've because of the pandemic. I feel like we've accelerated this kind of like curbside and contactless pickup options, and
it's amazing.
I for one am all for it.
100%.
I'm all about it.
This place has always been kind of advanced in that regard. Like but even before this, there were drive-through banks where you didn't have to go in.
Yeah.
That to me was a weird one because, I mean, I've seen drive-throughs in England for food, but never for a bank. But why?
Also the
why
tube? Why is the bank the only place that gets a little tube? Why are there no tubes elsewhere? Why aren't there fast food tubes?
Because your food would get all messed up.
I wouldn't want my food going through a tube, though. I feel like that would be
Gravity
messy.
still works in a vacuum.
I don't know.
Barbara, are you okay? Are you muted?
Am I?
I don't hear.
Oh no!
Hello?
Barbara, you muted in Discord.
Oh, weird. Hello.
Do you still have your keybinds from Among Us?
I may have my keybind still on from Among Us.
Did it seem like we were just ignoring you?
We cut.
I mean, it didn't feel any different to a normal podcast. Not gonna lie. Self-own. Okay, next up. All right, change of subject.
I was thinking about the whole like contactless and app thing, and it got me thinking about. There's a moment in The Office where Michael Scott is trying to call a woman named Wendy, and he calls Wendy's by accident. And I don't know if you all remember this. And he tries to like order food ahead of time via the phone on Wendy's, and he's like, I want a hamburger and French fries, and they're like, all right, just come by. We make it. He's like, all right, so you're gonna have it ready for me? They're like, we don't take orders. Like we're a fast food place. You just show up and get your food. But now Wendy's and like all these other places have apps, and they're trying to convince you to use their app to order your food ahead of time. Like that was something that was like a punchline. It was a joke. Just 10 years ago, we made fun of it, and now it's like everyone's trying to convince you.
I hope
order
they don't
your food
go
ahead
away.
of time.
I hope it stays around. I hope that this is the new way of doing business.
That's always so interesting to me because a lot of people are obviously talking about the pandemic in a way where it's like, oh, when things go back to normal, blah, blah, blah. But like there are going to be so many new ways of doing things, including, I think, ordering food and groceries and all that stuff that I think is going to be like a permanent change. I don't think there is a normal that we're going back to ever, as dark as that seems.
Well, a new normal, a better normal, ideally.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully a safer normal too. I think like wearing masks when you're sick or when it's like flu season is going to become a lot more common.
Oh, that'll be great.
Yeah.
Do y'all have, I realized this the other day, do y'all have a preference on which vaccine you want?
Any of them. Literally any of them.
I hear the Moderna one tastes better.
I don't know why, but I just want the Moderna one. I'm just like, oh yeah, that's the one. That's mine. That's the Moderna one.
Why do you want that one?
I have no idea. There is absolutely no basis for that claim aside from I like the name better.
I saw an article, I forget who reported it. I saw an article earlier today about how some companies, and so, like, the Pfizer vaccine has to be shipped at really low temperatures. Mm-hmm. And some companies are trying to work with Dippin' Dots to secure freezers.
Why did you get a vaccine and ice cream?
Oh, that would be delightful. So now I'm back on the Pfizer train if they're offering me free Dippin' Dots, the ice cream of the future.
I guess Dippin' Dots has a cryogenics arm of their business that deals with...
It's all cryo. It's all cryo. It's all liquid nitrogen.
Right.
Because that's how you make a dot.
I'll be honest. Dippin' Dots, it's no good. But it's not tasty. Well, it's bullshit.
What's funny is they called it ice cream of the future, and they were right, but just not in the way we expected.
Exactly. I love Dippin' Dots. I love paying $10 for a very small amount of ice cream that freezes to my tongue.
I will say it's
so okay.
I agree, Gavin. It is okay, especially if you want ice cream. Dippin' Dots not the way to go. But you saying like it's not good, that's not true. It's still good. It's still tasty.
It's a lot of fun. It's like a party in your mouth.
It's sugar, so it's good. It's an automatic qualifier, but definitely not like, to me, my favorite ice cream by far, drumstick with the caramel inside.
Oh, and the
baby.
chocolate
Those
at
are
the
good.
bottom.
Oh, fuck yeah. It's got like everything you want in ice cream.
But you can't get the king drumstick because those fuckers break right in half. I don't know what it is
King?
about the engineering of the. Yeah, there's a
Doesn't
small
scale
and then
up.
there's a tall, and the tall right in half in the package, and you open it up and you only
Interesting.
get half a fucking ice cream every time.
Well, you get the whole thing. It's just broken.
It's just broken.
I used to be a little cornetto lad. Delicious.
I don't know what that is.
A cornetto? It's a
Yeah.
little...
It's the
It's
same
not-
thing.
Nice. It's like it's a drumstick, but it's got like a flat top.
Oh, okay. What kind
Drumsticks
of
have flat
difference is
tops,
that?
don't they?
Cornetto.
No,
Does a drumstick, I thought drumstick was rounded.
Oh,
I think there's
yeah,
different
yeah.
kinds, but the one I get, they're rounded at the top and they got little peanuts on the top with the chocolate coating underneath.
Have you've watched Shaun of the Dead and never heard of a cornetto? Mental.
I just
Mental.
forgot.
Netto.
I
Oh, looks so good.
we had been talking about this recently. I don't know why you mentioned Shaun of the Dead. It made me think about it. This past weekend, I decided, after we've been talking about it, I decided to rewatch the Lord of the Rings extended edition movies. And I forgot how long it takes to watch those. Like on Saturday, I was like, yeah, I'll probably bang out 2 today and I'll do Return of the King on Sunday. I did Fellowship on Saturday and I was like, that's it. I can't. And I did Two Towers on Sunday and I was like, I have enough time to do Return of the King, but no, I just, it's not in me. It's way too much all at once. And
Sorry.
it just made me think about when the Draft House used to do like whole day marathons where they would show all 3 of them back to back to back. And I never went to those, but it's like those would always sell out. People
Were they
would
extended
go do
too?
that. Mm-hmm.
Can you explain to me? This is controversial. Why do people like Lord of the Rings? Anyone?
Because
Well, it's just like classic fantasy, isn't it?
Hello,
Why
Chris
does anyone like
Damaris.
any-
Needs your help on this one?
I just get droned. I get Chris Damaris' drone strike comes through.
Some alarms are going off in his head right now, and he doesn't
Yeah.
know why.
I think the world is cool. Lots of
Okay.
mystery, a lot of old races and things. I don't know. Why
Right.
is it good? It's just good, isn't it?
do you not like it, Drew? What do you
don't-
not like about it?
I don't enjoy it at all, but
You-
that doesn't mean you shouldn't enjoy it if you like it.
Do you not like
everyone's allowed
fantasy
their
in general?
opinion. I think I might not be a fantasy fan. But I'm a big sci-fi fan, so maybe I just
think-
draw the line at magic. I don't know.
Kind of feel you, Drew. I'm okay with the Lord of the Rings films. I feel like it's just a lot. It's like a lot to digest at once.
Also, like we went to go see the second one in theaters, and I held a girl's hand for way too long, and then our hands got sweaty, and everybody felt real awkward about it. So every time I think about the Lord of the Rings, the Two Towers, I just think about having a really sweaty, weird hand in the movie theater.
it's forever associated with that movie now.
So
I
maybe
hate
there's
Lord of
a
the
little bit
Rings.
that.
Sweaty hands, baby.
Yeah. Why does everybody like Lord of the Rings? It just gives you a really sweaty hand.
Yeah. By that logic, I would hate every day of my life. Hey.
I think they're just really well-made films. I think there's a reason so much was cut from the
Sure.
extended versions, and also can't even imagine what was cut from those.
I was always very confused by all of the characters and the dialogue. Like I didn't know who anyone was because I didn't read the books, and then I felt very lost the whole time.
It's a lot. It's a lot of characters.
So maybe it's just me on being dumb.
I honestly think the extended versions go the extra mile to explain who people are more, or explain what groups of people are more.
So maybe I should go back and just do the extended, just this thing I don't really enjoy. I'll just do a lot of it.
Just watch 11 and a half hours of
You
it.
know what you should do to get yourself in the mood? Get a bowl of water and just stick your hand in it.
Yeah, perfect.
Salty water.
Flashbacks.
Piss himself.
But it must be frustrating for the actors when some stuff is cut. Like I was watching the Two Towers when I watched the Two Towers yesterday, and in the extended version, which did not make it to the theatrical version, there's a scene where when they're burying Theodrin, Eowyn has to sing a song in like some ancient made up language. It's not English. And I was like, how frustrating is it for that actress who's like, okay, I'm going to sing in this movie. I got to memorize a song in a fake language. She goes out there, she performs, probably spends hours, doing the scene, and then it gets cut. Like it doesn't even make it into the fucking movie. It's like, oh, okay, thanks. I only did all that work for nothing.
Gus, you wouldn't know anything about that.
Right.
Nothing at all. Yeah. I don't remember a
They
single
would-
day that you've ever done that, Gus.
It would super not have worked as 6 movies though, because the first half of each movie is nothing happens. Like the first half even of Two Towers, which I always considered the most.
You just said they're very cinematic and they tell a great story, but then you just also said all of them don't do anything for the first half of all of them.
It's all
but
set
the
up.
point is that like the Two Towers, the extended one is on 2 discs. And if you just watch the first disc, nothing happened that whole. I guess they like un-old a guy, and that's about it. But when they're in the theatrical, it's like as a whole movie, they're great. Like each one is great. I always just remembered Two Towers being like the action-packed, crazy one, all the fighting, but not in the first half.
No, it's all at the end.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then The Hobbit's bad, right? Everybody agrees the 3 Hobbit movies are not very good.
Not seen them.
I don't know if it's that they're bad. I just think when people see them, they compare them to the Lord of the Rings trilogy. So I think like by comparison, they're not as good.
Got it.
That's my interpretation, at least. I was
think
kind of A on everything, so I am no place to judge.
So I think someone in chat agrees with you, Drew. Was this how I'm... Oh, they were... Okay, never mind. Message removed. I guess someone didn't like these all caps.
I'm just getting raked over the coals in the chat, and that's fine.
They said
That's fine.
that they had the same problem you did, where stuff wasn't explained.
Yeah, I just felt dumb the whole time. Now I'm just holding this girl's hand. It's real sweaty. I don't know what the outcome of this relationship's going to be, and now I'm really confused by all these elf people. The whole time it was a mess.
Was it a long time ago? This?
Yes.
You might enjoy them more now. I didn't really care for them when I was a kid.
Okay. Yeah, we saw it like opening night at midnight.
Oh,
Was that like 2001?
2002? If it's
Yeah,
2 Towers.
2002. Yeah, it's like 14.
I was looking it up. They shot principal photography for 14 months to do all 3 movies.
Insane.
At the same time. It's like that is a long ass shoot. It was December of 99. No. It was October of 99 to December of 2000. So basically they had no year 2000. The entire year 2000 was shooting the movies.
Bloodfest shot in 25 days. 25 days.
I mean,
can't imagine.
Lord of the Rings, Bloodfest, they're really just so...
I'm just saying, like, indie movies in general are like a 15, 20-day schedule. And it's just like, could you imagine? Ghostbusters was like 156 days.
Really?
It's a 120-page script.
You also
So
have to
you're shooting,
maintain everything about yourself, like your weight, your hair. Like you have to maintain everything to look the same all the time. That must be a lot of work too.
Well, you have people doing
I
it
guess,
for you mostly.
yeah. When you're
Aside from the weight thing.
Yeah.
But even then, they hire trainers and shit for it.
They
You'll
feed
get a little
you.
trainer in you.
And that's enough. I watched a documentary last night called Monster Camp. Have you seen that?
No.
It's about LARPing.
Okay.
And it was it's quite old, but I've really enjoyed it. I was expecting it to have... I feel like a lot of documentaries have a bias where it's like, we're going to feature these people, but they're clearly insane, and we're just going to let them talk themselves down this weird hole, and the audience will see them in a certain light. I feel like it was a completely unbiased, really cool look at LARPing, which I had never... I mean, aside from watching role models or something, I didn't really have any experience with. And at one point, like, some random people walk up and are watching them all, fighting and shouting shit at each other. And the documentary almost makes them look like the weird ones because they don't understand. Yeah, I thought it was really good. It was like a super cheap documentary made by like one dude.
I never even heard of it. What platform did you watch it on?
Amazon Prime.
Okay. I'll keep an eye out for it.
You said that so fast. Amazon Prime.
Also.
So the Mandalorian season 2 wrapped up the other day. Speaking of things that we're watching,
Did.
I think it wrapped up really well. I think everyone. I think everything I've read online, people were very happy with the way that it ended. It was a very, very positive reception, which I think is super rare to get nowadays.
Yeah. It seemed like a lot of people had good reactions to it. I saw a lot of people like crying and getting emotional and stuff like that. I'm not spoiling anything, even though the whole season's out, which I think a lot of people were waiting for the whole season to be done so they could binge it. I think that was like a big reason people didn't want us to spoil anything, but
yeah,
damn, like what a good fucking show.
Mm-hmm. It's I'm ready for more. I can't believe we have to wait so long. It's the thing that sucks. Like,
There is a season 3 coming out?
It's so
They're
good.
Next
they're gonna
winter,
bring it
right?
back?
Yeah, they're gonna.
Damn. Well, along with like 19 other shows.
Yeah, they have a lot that's going on. I felt like they were kind of, after all the trouble they had with the most recent movies, and some of the spin-offs like Solo, I thought that they were really slowing down and going to ice plans on that franchise. But I guess they're just pivoting, and as opposed to theatrical, it's a lot more Disney Plus and SVOD focused.
I think that the success of the first season of The Mandalorian coupled with quarantine is going to make them explode with all of that Star Wars content in serialized form. And also, like, it seems historically Star Wars being serialized seems to like be easier to digest all the lore and stuff. So maybe I'll do that.
That's just space fantasy.
Right. And I fucking love it because it's just space. All you got to do is take away magic, call it something else, put it in space, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm here for this.
As long as there's no moons.
Oh, fuck.
Right.
No moons.
As long as there's no confusing moons. Other moons are fine. Phobos and Deimos, they make sense. Mars's moons, easy. Asteroids got caught hanging out, little potatoes. Our moon does make sense.
Why does ours have a name? Why doesn't ours have a name?
It is. It's moon.
Moon. But there are other thank you, Barbara. Welcome to hell.
That sucks. Why don't we have a name? Because we have, like, other planets have their own moons, but they have names.
Right.
Wasn't it just called Lunar?
No.
Oh.
I mean, that's one name. That's the, like, Roman? No. Latin. The Latin name for the moon, right?
Yeah.
Fuck
I mean, every...
Earth has... I looked it up. Earth has one moon. We call it the moon.
The moon.
The moon.
Well, surely the first thing you see of something, you're going to name it, and then you can't name other ones that, so...
Moon also.
Do you think the other moons are jealous? Like, kind of pissed off that ours is just the moon, and then they all have names? Like, they're like, well, why aren't we the moon?
Dude, we're also...
It has alternate names. I see some
Luna.
alternate names here. Yeah, Luna's one of them. There's also Celine.
Big piece of shit.
And there's also Cynthia.
Who's calling it Cynthia? Ain't nobody calling it Cynthia.
What would you call it, Drew?
Big, dumb, rock, hate you.
We need it. We need it. It's important.
It's not. It's not important. It just fucks with the tides. All it does is fuck with the tides. That's it. If the moon goes away, everybody's fine.
We need the tides. We need tides.
For what?
I don't know. We've evolved with them. If you take them away, what if everything goes still and we all die?
Drew, what's your sign?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm Aquarius with a Taurus moon.
Dude, we're going into the age of Aquarius. Do you feel special?
Buckle up.
Is this the dawn?
Do I have to get naked?
You have to run around with, like, body paint all over the city. That's what you do.
Yeah.
Okay. Aquarius. Let me read about you. Let me see if Aquarius hate the moon.
Oh. Does Aquarius hate moon?
All right.
It just says yes. It's just one word. There's no conjecture. It's just, yeah, no, all of them. It's a weird thing. I don't get it. All Aquarius hate moon.
So if the moon cracked in half...
I'd be so pleased.
Wow. That's extreme, Drew.
It's
It would just
aggressive.
save me so much. I would be like, cool, great. Now I can figure this out. I can do the math on two space objects.
I'm pretty sure it's just something that hit the Earth that got stuck out there.
Yes.
Pretty sure that's all it is.
Yeah. But then why
Yeah,
is it the size
calm
it is? Why is it the exact same size as the sun during a solar eclipse? Like almost exactly. Not exact. Why does it sound hollow when you hit it with shit?
I don't think...
Bernie Burns had that question on a podcast once, and nobody answered it. Illuminati, y'all.
The Illuminati controls the moon? Is that what you're saying seriously now?
No, I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying I'm dumb. Basically, my thesis for this podcast is I'm kind of dumb, and I have strong opinions, though stupid.
If you could go to the moon for free, you would guarantee a successful flight. You would definitely survive. You could spend a week on the moon. Would you turn it down?
No, I'd totally go to the moon just to spit on it.
Spit on it.
All right.
like
Do
to
you see an
picture
issue
Drew-
with the fact that you want to spit on the moon? How are you going to do that?
I like to
How you
picture
gonna
Drew
spit on the moon?
with the helmet, and he just takes it off for a second to spit, and then like slams it back on. The spit freezes like as it's falling to the ground.
I assume there's some sort of like dome. Okay, if we're going to the moon with no problem, guarantee no problems, we've definitely set up a colony on the moon. There's some sort of dome that is
There's no
over
dome.
a chunk. No dome.
There's no dome.
No dome, then forget the trip. I'm not. If I can't spit on the moon, I'm not going.
You could spit in your lander.
No, I want to spit on the moon. I want to.
Well, you might have to spit in a baggie.
Yeah, you could spit in the lander, and while it's suspended, like in gravity, then you could open the door, and it'll continue going out, and then hit the moon.
I think.
Yeah, but it's
how
not
long can you
zero
survive in
G.
space? Because we could like I
it's
can crack a
low G
window.
though.
I feel like I could crack a window, spit, and then close the window real fast. Like I think I could. You can survive a little bit.
Princess Leia did
Not
it.
immediately vacuumed, right?
I'd be worried about all of the moisture in your body trying to immediately leave through your
You just have to
face
shut your
holes.
eyes. You gotta,
According to realclearscience.com, you can survive for 90 seconds unprotected in space.
that's plenty of time to spit on the moon.
But you're betting your life on realclearscience.com.
I mean, they sound good. Again, Gus, not smart. Argumentative and dumb. That's me.
Any water directly exposed to the environment, such as the liquid on your eyes or your tongue, would boil off in a matter of seconds. About 10 seconds into the ordeal, you would lose vision. Moments later, you would likely lose consciousness, a result of gas exchange working in reverse and oxygen being dumped from your blood.
Nice.
Your
Hot.
skin would discolor to a pallid shell of blue. After about 1 minute, circulation would stop altogether.
Now I just need to know the math on how long it takes to spit, because that's like a second.
In reality, you have about 10 seconds before you lose vision and then consciousness.
Great. That's plenty of time to go. Look, that was like less than a second.
He
Open
takes
the
off
door,
his, he
spit,
takes off
close
his
the door.
helmet, fumbles it. He's like, oh shit.
Oh God, oh,
now
God.
I'm blind. Oh shit.
Dead on the
Was it
moon.
worth it?
Yeah.
It's like the people who go up Everest. I think there was someone who got, like, summited Everest and then lost their hand to frostbite trying to take a picture.
Oh,
They took their glove off to
Oh
take
my
a picture, and
God.
then they couldn't get their glove on fast enough and lost their fingers.
It happens that fast?
I don't know. Maybe it was. I don't know.
Wow.
I can't
Was it-
back that story up.
was
but
it
just someone
last?
told
Was
me.
it 2019 when there was a line to summit Everest? Just a very long, dangerous line of people just like
Yeah.
Disneyland, just like walking up, taking their selfie, going back to where they
Yeah.
were.
Waiting for conditions to be right?
I
Yeah.
think there's like a cottage industry that's popped up for helping people fake Everest summit photos. I don't know if you've ever heard about this, but there's like services that'll help Photoshop you to make it look realistic, like you have summited Everest, and give you like photographic proof that that you did it, and you don't have to do it.
They just use that technology from The Mandalorian, the big, the side sweepy stage that they use for all their
Yeah.
sets. It's that.
I feel like if I was going to do Everest, I would need to take a step ladder up with me to erect at the top so I could climb that and potentially be the highest human who climbed.
Man, talk about dedication and danger just for a bit. It's like you're going through all this extra effort and danger.
Years of training.
That's less effort than gauzing on the moon. I mean,
What would
you could have the ladder put up there, maybe.
Yeah, you have a Sherpa. Those
Yeah,
dudes do it like 4 times a day.
Risk their life, not yours.
Yeah.
Bringing a ladder
I
with
feel like
you.
Wobbly step ladder.
I feel like
be
that's a
so
great application
difficult.
for the Explorers Club.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, when
it. That's how we get in, Gavin.
When you summit Everest, are you just on like the flattest, highest bit? You're not like going to the tippy top tip, are you?
I believe you
I
go to
don't
the
know how it works.
top, but that's not the tallest mountain because the tallest mountain's insurmountable. Can't top it. Can't get there.
Isn't that an MC Hammer song? Can't top this.
Can't top this. It's another Nepalese mountain that's just like not allowed.
Are you sure? Is that true? I thought Everest was the highest.
I thought the whole
It's
point
the
of Everest was
highest
that
mountain that's been summited.
Highest, summited mountain. I
I
think.
thought
Yeah.
the highest
Really?
mountain was not Everest just because it starts underwater or starts way deep below the surface of the sea or something.
This podcast episode is just
We
full
don't
of
know a
vague
lot.
facts.
Now, according to Wikipedia, the highest mountain is Everest.
Oh yeah, 29. K2. I don't know what K2 is.
I like the idea of the humans being like, well, that one over there is actually the tallest, but we can't get up that one. Like, we'll call this one the tallest. This one, guys, Everest.
It's done.
We're,
Yeah.
we're already up this one.
29,029 feet at its summit.
I wouldn't want to walk that far horizontally, much less like vertically.
How many miles is 29,000 feet?
It's like almost 6 miles.
6 miles
Yeah.
straight up.
I feel like
Yeah.
that doesn't seem like a lot, but then you're, summiting it, so it's obviously a lot
climbing,
harder.
yeah.
Yeah. But when you think about it,
Well,
you're
that's
like,
just the
it's only
that's-
6 miles.
That's as the crow flies. I'm sure it's like circuitous. Like it's,
Yeah.
Oh, for
40
sure.
miles of switchbacks and ice crevasses, etc.
Man, we did some when I went to Israel a few years ago. They had us like scale some mountains as part of our trip. Like some days we went to some mountains and scaled them. And looking back at the photos of them, I'm like, how did they let a bunch of teenagers do this? Because there were no rails or anything keeping us safe, except like every couple of feet there'd be like a little thing in the mountain to kind of grab onto. But I'm like, any of us could have slipped and fallen to our death very easily. And like, we never signed a waiver or anything like that. And I was like, this is really dangerous. They're just letting a bunch of like high school students climb this mountain.
I feel like
they die sometimes.
You're safe. High school students make good decisions. I'm sure there was no horseplay. I'm sure it was all done in a very safe, respectful manner.
I wonder if I could find a
also like
picture
high
of it.
school students are pretty like bulletproof. I mean, like you can like, I know that if I climbed a mountain right now, I would be sore for days, but I climbed a mountain when I was like 16 and it was just like, cool, what are we doing like tomorrow? Because I feel great. So I feel like you can get away, like,
Yeah, but if
climbing a
you
mountain
fell
as a
from
teenager
it,
is a little different.
you wouldn't be so great. You'd be dead.
Sure.
You wouldn't really bounce back from it. I mean, you'd bounce maybe a little bit.
A couple times.
Oh shit. Dark.
I'm gonna see.
Man,
if I can
I've
find
been
a photo.
playing so much Cyberpunk.
How is it?
I really like it. I think it's broken still. There's glitches.
What are you playing
I
on?
just
PC?
I'm playing on my PC.
Hmm.
I think it's really good. I think it's a really good game.
I think
It's like the best. Also, it's the best parkour game I've ever played. They like really reward running and jumping and climbing on shit, especially once you get double jump legs, which you can buy. It's so fun just to go like as the crow flies to an objective, just like scaling buildings and stuff. It's great.
I'm a little. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of bugs in that game, but all bugs aside, gameplay, like quest wise, I'm a little frustrated with that game at the moment because I'm not that far. I'm only a few hours in, but I got to a point where I was doing a quest, and in order to proceed, I need to pay the quest giver 15,000 euro dollars, and I have like 4,000 like that I've collected so far cumulative in the game. Like, how the fuck am I going to collect 15,000? Like, it made me turn the game off for a bit. I was like, I don't want to play anymore. Like, I just felt so discouraged.
There's a guy right outside that quest who's like immediately ready to pay you a shitload of money.
Is he like I didn't want to do his quest. It sounded stupid. Is that so? I have to do that quest. All right.
Well, also like you actually make a ton of money in that game if you don't fast travel because you just come across shit that's happening, like police stuff or.
But that's the other thing that gets me. Anytime I stop, like earlier today, right after my 15,000 euro dollar debacle, I was like, all right, I'm going to start playing the game again. I'm going to do a mission, and I selected a mission to go do, and it was like, drive your vehicle to this parking spot and park. And I was on a motorcycle, so I rode my motorcycle to the spot and I parked, and the mission wasn't triggering. I was like, maybe I'm not all the way in the spot. So like I got off the motorcycle, I got back on, I moved it a little bit, then I got off the motorcycle again, and then I had a wanted level and the police were shooting me for no reason. There's like I feel like anytime I stop, there's a bug where the police want to kill me. So it's like I don't ever stop and do side missions because invariably, for some reason, the police are going to start trying to shoot me, even though I don't do anything.
Yeah, I don't really understand the police too much in that game. It's an odd police system for sure. But
Yeah,
I'm deeper into the story now, and because I started as a corpo, I was never outside of the city. Like I played the first 20 hours, like never leaving the city. So I've finally like gone out to Nomad Land. It's a massive map. It's massive. But also later on, you'll make a lot more money a lot quicker. Like even if you just don't do that quest for a bit.
But I don't care about later. I care about now because I want to keep proceeding.
But you don't have to do that quest now. You can do
But that's
some
like the main
gigs.
storyline quest.
Yeah, but you don't want to do it. You don't want to main. Are you the kind of person who just plows the main story from off the bat?
It depends. Skyrim, I definitely did that. This game, I guess I was as well. Fallout 3, I did not. I think it just varies game by game. I think right now I'm experiencing extreme frustration with this game, so I'm trying to get through the main story as quickly as possible. I think what it's made me realize is how many small things in a video game can break your immersion. Like tiny things that don't work right. Like it doesn't necessarily affect the core of the game, but just like driving through the city, I'll be like, why are there no people on the sidewalks? You know, it's like, or it's like I'll watch someone, like I'll be turning onto a street in my car and I'll watch someone crossing the street, stop, get in my way, then turn back and go in the other direction they just came from. It's like, what are they doing? Like it just really draws me out of the moment. Like when you see an NPC do something that a person normally wouldn't do, it just keeps breaking my suspension of disbelief. And I'm like, oh, it's a broken game.
Yeah,
I'm excited for this game to be on sale in 6 months when all the bugs are fixed.
It'll be good. I think people will love it when they play it on a console that can run it.
Have you guys played Project Winter?
No.
I played it this weekend for the first time with Cole and a couple people, and it's kind of, people describe it like the movie The Thing, mixed with like Among Us. And after playing so much Among Us and getting used to like that format, this was so slow. And there's so much to do. Like, you have to basically go out, craft things. You have to get things to craft, go back to the cabin to craft it. And it's always so far away to get from place to place that it becomes so frustrating. It's like, oh, we need to repair this thing, and it needs like 4 electronic pieces. And to make 4 electronic pieces, you need like 4 rock and 4 tree. So you have to like sit there punching at the rocks to get rock, and then punch at the tree, and then go all the way back to the cabin, craft it, go all the way back. It's just a lot of back and forth. And like, I feel like I could get into it if I understood it more, but it's so tedious and long, and just, I don't know. I don't know if I dig it.
Did you not like Minecraft?
I never really played too much Minecraft. I played maybe like the creative mode more than anything, where you just get everything you want. But yeah, no, this is just like painfully
Yeah, it sounds like a Minecraft or a Rust or a game like that.
Couldn't you also, in Minecraft, build yourself a table like wherever you want to craft?
Yep.
This one you can't. It's only in the cabin, so you have to go all the way back, regardless of where you are.
Yeah, that's a pain.
Yeah, that's annoying. That sucks.
Yeah. And there's no map except a north, south, east, west. So like, you could be running for like 5 minutes, and it's like, oh, now you're west. It's like, okay, I have no idea where I am, because it's like a blizzard constantly in that game.
So not recommended from you?
I think if you're with the right people, it's fun. I think I just need more practice at it, because it was the first time I played it last night. It's just like very slow.
Yeah, I think that's the same with a lot of games. One of the multiplayer games I've played the most for videos is GTA Online. I don't think I would ever touch that if I wasn't playing with a shitload of people that I knew. Like, I wouldn't just hop into that solo. I wouldn't really know what to do. It's all about the people to me.
I tried to do Red Dead 2 online the other day, and I got very confused and quit.
There's a moon in that game.
I got real upset, and I just flipped out and left.
Did you play Portal 2?
I did. I played some of Portal 2.
So you didn't get to the ending?
I don't recall.
You probably wouldn't like the ending then.
Oh, another thing I should point out about Project Winter. Sorry to get off track from Red Dead, but you only have 4 inventory slots, which is the most. You could build a backpack that gives you an extra inventory slot, but it is so frustrating because you got to just dump stuff wherever you can just to like get a tool or something like that.
Pile.
And then if you need to get food because you're hungry, you have to drop your tool to eat the food and then pick it back. It's just so dumb.
Did you play
like real life?
I see it's an 8-player game. Did you play with 7 other people?
Yeah, we did. We played with 8 total. So it was a great group.
In real life, I only have 4 slots. I got both hands and both pockets. And then if I hold a drill and I want to eat a sandwich,
whatever you can grab with your toes.
Yeah, backpack.
You have back pockets.
And shoulders. You could use your shoulders for
I don't carry it like bacon.
You could use your shoulders. Yeah. Wrap it over.
It's just a bacon scarf.
Yeah, get some spaghetti, make it into a
cravat.
Yeah.
Oh man, now I'm hungry. I'm pretty hungry today.
I'm down to play with you guys if you ever want to play it.
I mean, you really sold it.
Yeah, you made it sound great.
I don't know if I'm just doing something wrong in that game or if it's just the mechanics that I got to get used to, but like, maybe you guys would like it. I just want to know if my opinion is wrong, basically, and that I should suck up the things that I don't like about it because it's actually a good game.
I'll give it a go and I'll report back to you.
Okay.
What platform did you play on? Because I only have a PS4.
It's on PC that we played on, like Steam.
Damn.
Man, I've still been trying to buy a PS5. I tried earlier today, and I got pretty far. I got to the checkout, but then it didn't work.
Maybe you'll have one by next week's podcast.
Did you not pre-order one? I feel like you'd be in the pre-order pile.
I tried. No, I would have if I could have, but didn't happen. So still waiting. I'll get one eventually. No rush, I guess. It'll happen. I'm not constantly refreshing a website while we're doing this podcast trying to pre-order one.
Why is there like a want for PS5? Did they just make more Xboxes? Did they make an appropriate amount of Xbox?
I think so. I mean, it's still kind of difficult to buy a Series X, but I think people have had more luck with it. But I don't know. Maybe they had more initial allotment or something.
The toughest version of the PS5 is the Tickle Me Elmo PS5 for the holiday. Sorry, the joke is like 20 years old, and I needed to say it. And I said it.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good one. You did it.
Thanks.
I feel like I want to mention we launched another show on the website today that John Reisinger made, and I want people to check it out if they haven't. It's called The Real Canon. We put a pilot out. It's on RT Extras on the website, and this particular episode is about Miles Morales, like as far as like the video game, the movies, the comics, and everything. And I think they're trying to approach things from nerd culture, but not in a gatekeeping manner, like trying to make it accessible to as wide of an audience as possible. So for dummies like me who are a big nerd about some things, but maybe I don't know a lot about Miles Morales, it's like, or Barbara's giving a thumbs up.
Yeah.
It's like where you can go and like really learn about something from people who know a lot about it and who won't make you feel dumb for not knowing it. He's doing that podcast with Charles Pulliam-Moore, who does work with IO9. He's a journalist and social influencer. So you should go check it out. Yeah, it just came out today. It's on RT Extras on the website.
It's rare to find a podcast like that both people who are already into that lore and people who are new to it could both listen to and enjoy. For the same reason you're saying, Gus. Like it's very not gatekeepy, and it's like it explains everything nicely, but not in a way that makes you feel like if I already know about this is boring. It's hard to. I'm not doing a good job.
It's exactly how John is in real life. He knows a lot of nerd things, and then is always excited to tell you about them in a way that doesn't make you feel dumb. So if that's him doing a show with an IO9 dude, then he's fucking great.
So yeah, give it a listen. It's available now. Yeah, I know. I felt like it was on my list of things I wanted to mention just because it came out, it was brand new, and I wanted to give that a quick shout out before I forgot. Yeah. In less fun news, did you all hear that story about the guy who died on a United Airlines flight last Monday?
No.
He was flying from, I think it was Orlando to Los Angeles, and they had to make an emergency stop in New Orleans because the passenger had suffered cardiac arrest, and they were giving him CPR on the plane. And when they landed in New Orleans, his wife told the ambulance crew who showed up that he had COVID symptoms and had tested positive for COVID.
What?
Yeah, and he lied before getting on the plane because otherwise they would not have allowed him on the plane. And so, like, now everyone on the plane potentially has it. Like, they have to quarantine, and the flight crew, I think, definitely has to quarantine for 14 days. They were giving him, CPR on the plane.
Right,
dude. It's like
is mouth to mouth still a thing? No,
I don't think I don't think mouth to mouth is a thing. I think it's just chest compressions.
Just chest compressions.
Yeah. But man, it's such a fucked up story. It's so selfish that someone. I mean, I feel bad for the person who died, but it's selfish of them to potentially expose that many people to COVID unnecessarily. You know,
and they personally wanted to go somewhere.
Was it related to the death? Was COVID the cause of the heart attack?
They don't know, and I don't know if they'll necessarily say. They said that this person had underlying respiratory issues, as well as potentially maybe a heart condition. So it contributed, but it might not have been the sole factor.
Yeah, I the thing about COVID that freaks me out is that, like, while there's a good chance if we got it, we'd probably be okay. Apparently, like 15 to 30% of people who get it and recover from it still suffer from permanent heart damage. And then later in life could suffer from like serious heart disease or heart attacks or like anything heart related. Essentially, you're more susceptible to later on. And so it's like, I don't understand how there's so many people, especially in this country, who are like not afraid of COVID or think like, oh, if I get it, I'll be fine. I'm young and healthy. It's like, you could be fine and recover from it, but like the stuff that it does to your body and your organs, like there's not enough research still, and you don't know the long-term effects.
Or also they could spread it to other people, right?
I mean, that's like the big thing. But also, like, even if you are a selfish person and only care about yourself, there's still shit it could do to you. Even if you recover from it or have no symptoms. Even people who are asymptomatic could still have permanent heart damage. So wear your fucking masks.
I had my
as I say all the time.
I had my first COVID heckler this weekend. We went camping.
Oh no!
And like they were coming up the trail and they were not wearing masks, so we like stopped and put on masks and then like kept walking. And the guy, I thought he was being nice, but then like it was how he said it was nice, but then what he said, I was like, oh, you're a dick. He was like, oh, you might as well put a mask on the dog too, because we had my dog with us. And I was like, oh, haha, and then like walked away. And I was like, wait, no, fuck that guy. Like, but I couldn't at the time. Like, it's again one of those things. Where it's like I have no idea what the best response is, and then I realized, okay, boomer goes so far. You can get so much done with just okay, boomer.
Did you
it
say
makes
that?
Everybody angry. They get confused. Like, so next time, locked and loaded with okay,
Is that why
boomer.
you yell at the moon now?
Okay, no, okay, mooner.
There you
Lunar,
go.
yeah.
Okay, lunar.
Okay, Luna.
Yeah. That's it. We got a title for this podcast episode. But Eric, write it down.
If I feel like
one.
the last time I was on the podcast, it was also moon themed. So now, fingers crossed. Every time
You're
I make
the
an
moon
appearance,
guy.
There's a new. I'm the fucking moon guy. Great. Can't wait.
The thing you hate the most in this world is now what you're known
is the
for.
thing I am. Yeah. Hopefully
what
that's on my
happens.
tombstone. Hated the moon until his last breath.
You either die a hero or you live long enough to become the moon.
He's on his deathbed. He's like, move me to a window.
No, it's just it's my tombstone on the moon where I tried to spit. Bring that joke back. Just where my unanimated corpse says.
Speaking there, I don't know if you remember this, Drew. When we filmed this RT short, like at this point over a year ago, the self-defense instructor one with Andrew.
Yes.
There's a scene where I'm supposed to spit on him at the end, but for some reason, I guess I just like I couldn't spit
Right.
very well, so I go like, take that, something, and my spit just goes like down my chin.
God.
We left the take in that just like it just comes out of your mouth and like hits you in the shirt.
Honestly, probably the funniest thing ever recorded with a Rooster Teeth owned camera. Honestly, I watched that like 10 times when it came out. It's so funny. And just carry on.
The most embarrassing thing I've ever done in this company.
So good.
Like it was a normal spit.
I think that's the note was like, no, it'll be fine. It won't read on camera at all. And then when we got to post, I was like, no, that's the take. That's what we're using.
That's how we're using
There's
it.
no other.
Did you direct that, Drew?
I directed it. Andrew wrote it. I directed it.
I feel like it's always, I like it when you direct stuff because I feel like you won't make decisions that make the most sense. You'll just make the funniest decisions.
I try. Well, that's a
Absolutely.
high compliment. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Bizarre choices.
That's how you get some good shit going.
Yeah. Some bad
like
spit
that-
takes.
There's a lot of stuff where it's like, oh, that was really funny, but it won't like match with this other shot. And I'm always like, who cares? Look how funny that was. And they're like, nah, we got to do it again. I'll be like, damn it.
I think I just got like two in my head where I was like, I don't actually want to spit. It's gonna like land
No,
on this
you had,
thing.
as I recall, we did multiple takes, and I'll have to ask Neil like where these takes are because we can like a blooper reel. But like none of them, you just didn't have spit. There was just no spit available to you at the time. And, like they were all like that. All of
I
them.
just didn't have enough fluid in my mouth
Yeah.
to get me going. I should have like chewed some bubble gum or something.
Yeah.
Produce more saliva.
One of those sour thingies.
Yeah. Honestly, I think I just need to drink more water. I think I'm just dehydrated. Ooh, it's like White Claw.
Tis
What flavor? Blue raspberry?
black cherry.
Mm.
Not my favorite, but
Yeah, obviously, but based on that facial expression, I took a good guess that was not your favorite. People are asking what that. I see in chat, people are asking what the name of that short was. I think they
I
want
believe
to
it's
look it up.
self-defense class.
I think it is. Let me
Yeah.
look real fast.
It's pretty funny. Like, I claim almost no credit. That is 100%. Andrew showed up in character. Andrew wrote it. I just made sure that we covered it appropriately.
It's called the worst self-defense class ever.
Yeah.
it's somehow the third result when I search it on our website.
Oh wow.
The first
course it
result is the first result is IGN joins Funhouse.
All right.
Okay then.
That was a fun one because we did a lot of improv. in
Yeah,
that
there was a
one.
lot of like alt lines. And that one also kind of got buried. Like it's a little secret treasure. It like came out in the middle of a bunch of different shorts. And so that one glossed, I think, the first time it was out. So if you're ever looking for a good deep cut, it's a great one.
One of the top comments says, LMAO, Barb, that spit. What happened? You noticed it too?
Getting called out.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we should probably wrap this up. This is our final live podcast of the year. Like we said, we'll be back next week, but next week will be pre-taped. But you should watch it anyway. You'll find out all the stuff we didn't talk about this week because we talked. Well,
Are you making this the shortest podcast because it's the shortest day?
It's the shortest day. Yeah, we got to let Drew go so we can go see the Grand Conjunction, which sounds like something he's going to send $1,000 to.
Something I have. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the ratio of daylight hours to podcast hours has to be kept in check.
You gotta. But thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you all have a good holiday, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.